Have you ever been insulted so suddenly that your mind froze, even though you knew you should have said something? Today, you're about to learn the kind of comebacks that don't just defend you, they flip the entire conversation in your favor. These are not jokes, not sarcasm. These are psychologically sharp, socially dominating replies that make the other person rethink ever disrespecting you again. 1. You're so dramatic. Reply, I keep life interesting. This comeback works because it does something subtle. It turns their criticism into a compliment. When someone calls you dramatic, they're usually trying to paint you as unstable or overreactive. But when you say, I keep life interesting, you reframe the entire situation. You're telling them, I'm not dramatic, you're just boring. It also stops the conversation because there's no argument left. They insulted you to get an emotional reaction, but instead you showed pride. Psychologically, that throws their mind completely off balance. People don't know how to fight confidence. 2. Insult. You're so selfish. Reply, I value myself. This line is powerful because it exposes their manipulation. Most of the time, people use the word selfish when you don't do what they want. It's rarely about fairness, it's about control. When you answer with, I value myself, you declare your boundaries without starting a fight. You're saying, I choose me, and that threatens you. It shuts them down because now the conversation is no longer about their accusation, it's about your right to prioritize your own needs. Self-respect is not selfishness, but manipulators hate when you realize that. 3. You're always negative. I'm just a realist. This comeback works because it calls out the truth. People often label realism as negativity when it doesn't match their fantasy. When you say, I'm just a realist, you're positioning yourself as grounded, logical, and unbothered. It pushes the responsibility back onto them to accept reality. Psychologically, the insult loses power instantly because it no longer describes you, it describes their discomfort with honesty. 4. You're too quiet. Reply, silent waters run deep. This one hits differently because it carries mystery and weight. People who insult your quietness usually do it to force you into their tempo, to make you feel insecure so you talk more. But silent waters run deep flips the script. It tells them your silence isn't weakness, it's depth. It hints at intelligence, observation, confidence, and emotional control. Quiet people are often underestimated. This reply instantly wipes out that assumption and replaces it with authority. 5. You're too loud. Reply, I speak with confidence. This is the perfect opposite of the previous one, because people will insult you no matter what you do. Too quiet, too loud, you can't win. But this comeback is brilliant because it reframes volume as confidence, not chaos. When you say, I speak with confidence, you're telling them, my voice isn't the problem, your insecurity is. It communicates that you're unapologetic about showing up as you are. This shifts the insult from a flaw to a strength, a move that instantly takes back control. 6. You're so outdated. Reply, I'm vintage. This reply is short, playful, and devastating. Calling someone outdated is an attempt to make them feel irrelevant or inferior. But I'm vintage reframes you as timeless, classic, and unique. It also carries a subtle social implication. Vintage things are valuable. Vintage things are rare. Vintage things are appreciated by people with taste. So in one sentence, you're saying, you don't understand me because you don't have the range. 7. You're so forgetful. Reply, I have more important things on my mind. This one stings, in a good way. Being called forgetful is often used to make you feel unreliable or irresponsible. But when you respond with, I have more important things on my mind, you flip the script. You tell them your mind is busy with meaningful thoughts, ideas, and goals, not insignificant demands. Psychologically, this comeback elevates your priorities while lowering the power of their insult. You didn't forget because you're careless. You forgot because you're focused on bigger things. 8. You're so boring. Reply, only to those who lack imagination. This is one of the most intellectual comebacks on the list. People usually call others boring when they don't understand them or when they can't connect with deeper conversations. But this reply flips everything. You're saying their lack of imagination prevents them from understanding your personality. You're not boring, they are shallow. This line protects your identity and simultaneously puts them in check without being hostile or rude. 9. You're so indecisive. Reply, I like to explore all my options. Being indecisive is often framed as a flaw, but this comeback turns it into strategy. It implies thoughtfulness, patience, and self-awareness. When you say, I like to explore all my options, you're telling them, I don't rush, I choose wisely, and that makes me stronger than you think. This reply removes shame and replaces it with control. It makes the critic realize your decisions, slow or fast, are intentional, not accidental. Reply, time's just too early for me. This is a stylish, relaxed, and humorous comeback. Instead of defending yourself, you embrace the image and twist it into personality. It suggests you operate on your own rhythm, your own standards, and your own timing. It subtly communicates confidence and a little rebellion, but without aggression. People rarely know how to respond to humor mixed with self-acceptance. It disarms the insult completely.